I quit my job and I want to go to my ghost without trouble. My scars all closed and I just wanna love. I will never let you down. I just need to see a new landscape. I just need to breathe and handscape. Everyone has a dream like me. I will travel in the galaxy. I will kill all my enemies, but I do anything to stay me and stay free. Stay free. I quit my job and I want to go to my ghost without trouble. My scars all closed and I just wanna love. I will never let you down. I just need to see a new landscape. I just need to breathe in handscape. Everyone has a dream like me. I will travel in the galaxy. I will kill all my enemies, but I do anything to stay me and stay free. Stay free. Bye, friend, thank you for being there. You are in my heart forever. Remember, remember, the life is hard.
I wanna love you forever. Don't think that I'll let you go. You got me tripping and stuttering. You sweep me right off my feet. But do you know what you do to me? You got me spinning in circles. You take the lead and I'll follow, hoping that you won't let go, yeah. You got me high, now I'm wondering how you make it hard to breathe, yeah. But do you know what you do to me? You got me
What does bone health mean to you? Strength for fun, smiles, and laughs. Flexibility for confidence and
Tried holding my hands up, I tried living for now. Tried being there for others, I tried letting them down. I tried going to Vegas, I bet it all on risk. But win or lose, I don't care. 'Cause no matter what I do, 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 I can't seem to forget you. I tried cursing your name, yeah. I tried wishing you well. I tried taking it easy. I tried going through hell. I tried cake by the ocean. I tried drinks by the pool. I tried the red pill and the blue. But no matter what I do, 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 I can't seem to forget you. No matter what I
Channel switched. User joined your channel.
Hello, there we go. I see a lighting up thingy. That should be fine. Right, cool, perfect. Papa versus Follow. We're in. You in? So they're gonna, as soon as we're in, they're gonna. That's Follow's deck. Puffer's deck.
I wonder.
Not choose quickly.
Got the names. Right? Are we in?
Morgul versus Anduin. The light shall bring victory.
Hello and welcome to DGC 2017 lower bracket finals for Hearthstone here at Rage. I am Lions, joined here by Pony Slay Station.
How's it going, guys? Looking forward to a very interesting game today.
It's going to be good. We have Philo playing against Fafa. Both players performing admirably in the tournament so far. Fafa being knocked out by Gas in the semi-finals of the winners bracket. He will surely want to beat Philo so that he can have that rematch against Gas, who is waiting in the winners bracket final. Philo being knocked out quite early, so I think he's been making his way up. So he wants to get there as soon as possible, and he wants to get back to the top.
Most definitely redeeming.
Wants it. I've spoken to him earlier. Spoken to both players. They are so hyped, so amped, and their bodies are ready. Here going into the game, we already see the aggression coming out from Fafa's token shaman that patches on the field already, but a response with Gulaka Crawler will make quick work of that pesky pirate. So we've seen both of these players' decks already. Yes, of course. So yes, we've been informed about the bans. Fafa's Priest is banned and Rogue's, Philo's Rogue. So interesting choice. What do you think about those bans? Those are the most popular bans, but we haven't seen the variation of the two. Usually it's this either both Rogue or both Priest.
Yeah, mostly we've seen in this tournament the Rogue being banned, but we have seen throughout this tournament the Priest doing its work, playing, doing that value. winning games for some players and actually performing quite well.
Both decks definitely be a contender for most popular and strongest deck, as every player has the rogue, the temper rogue, in their arsenal. We have to see which one of those two decks fare better.
Yeah, Fafa trying to clear the board here, trying to make it open for his minion drop and get that damage in.
The early Rosaka's on curve going down. Not many other options, not that he needs to. Opting for the 5 cost. You're looking for that AoE, I would assume, as you want to control a evolve or token shaman's board as best possible. You want to keep them low on minions so that there's nothing to evolve. When we do see the evolve and doppelgangster in hand for Fafa, he must be smiling with that combination and a second doppelgangster. Looking very good for him in the evolution game, at least.
Coming, especially these drops that we've. But at this moment, I think Fafa's best strategy is to try and get the board. If he can't get that, then let's hope his doppelganger's evolution will pay off.
So the RNG is in his favor, and the RNG gods are smiling upon him.
Northshire Cleric dropping down. Philo gonna try and heal his Radiant Elemental, trying to get some cards draw, getting some options in for the next round. Well, next turn. Oh, Holy Nova gonna gonna get some great value, gonna get some 2 cards for him. Oh, maybe even some 3 cards. No, 2 cards, yes.
To draw in that Radiant Elemental being on field, definitely boding well for those spells in hand. No Lyra as of yet to get max value out of those spells being played, but he did get the Raza from that draw, which he'll definitely be happy about, as it is one of his combo pieces.
It is one of his key cards in his deck, and he will certainly be happy. We're seeing a Potion of Madness coming into Philo's deck. Be a very awesome pick, especially against those doppelgangers, especially if they're not evolved.
Yeah, he might, and not evolving straight up, maybe hoping for the second one. Maybe unlikely, since his opponent does have quite a big board, which he can't really deal with. Next turn, however, I think we'll see a doppelgangster double think from below into evolve. That could be like a devolve as well. Enables him to perhaps manage his opponent's board a bit better.
But not having the mana, especially playing now the doppelgangster, we could see a evolve.
We do see the evolve. That is exactly what he wanted at this stage.
Oh, we got 2 things from below dropping. Oh, and some big 6 minions coming. Baron Geddon.
Baron Geddon is a very welcome draw indeed. Well, evolution.
Some big heals and maybe some card draw for Philo. But we see the Dragonfire Potion coming in. We board wipe.
He had held on to that Holy Nova a little bit longer. Could have drawn his entire deck out in one turn, which you don't want as well.
4 cards, maybe. Well, maybe even more, but fine at the moment.
I wonder.
Don't see a card draw. Unfortunately, the Kazakus Potion not giving him that big AoE that he would want. Still a decent effect, but doesn't really help him at this stage. The Dragonfire Potion will, however, sufficient to clear the board. Going to pump all that damage into face and then most likely clear the board. You want to reset the token shaman.
The best strategy when it comes to priest and fighting a token shaman is trying to keep that board as empty as possible and trying to take the game into it. That will greatly help Philo.
That it will, and we do see the Dragonfire Potion going down.
But unlucky for Philo, there is still a doppelgangster in Fafa's hand, but not an evolve.
Interesting choice here for Philo to play the Loot Hoarder instead of the Doomsayer. Whereas the Doomsayer would have maybe stopped this play from happening by buying him an extra turn. He does get the Velen, so it's not looking too bad for him at this point. Probably not expecting that Abyssal Enforcer coming from that demon.
We can really see this game how Philo is trying to draw out the key cards in his deck with all this card draw he's getting. The Kazakus and the, I think Mind Blast, maybe something that could take this game right now for him.
Fairly nice value out of that Resurrection. Didn't get the big minions, but Radiant Elemental is nice as he has Lyra in hand. If he can survive this turn, he can maybe get some value out of that.
A bad choice from Fafo now would be attacking the face, because there is a potential for Philo to kill him right now and take the game for himself.
Fafo really would need top opponent here as he has 9, as Philo has 9 damage on board. They have that extra 3 when doesn't have damage in hand to.
Unfortunately, well, actually, this is Philo's type of strategy. If he's not going to kill Fafa at the moment, he's going to try and draw as much cards as possible, trying to get that Mind Blast, trying to get that early, well, late game kill.
Definitely what he is. Not to worry about that 5/5, as he can trade into it.
Philo already has the profit. He only needs his last key card, and that is the Mind Blast, to maybe take this game.
But looking at this mana curve at turn 9, if he did get the Mind Blast there, that would have been Fafa. No such luck. The RNG has decided, nope, Philo, you're not allowed to get that Mind Blast.
A potential Potion of Madness here, taking that mana totem and well, in names.
The Abyssal.
Yeah, the Abyssal
Enforcer. See what he says with that. But okay.
Yeah, it looks like a warning language. Seeing the Spirit Leech, clearing the Abyssal Enforcer and the Mana Totem, trying to clear this board, but still we have a big out. Dropping the Shadow and Ander, taking the board, wiping it out, and starting to get that combo in with his hero power.
Very efficient board clear there for Philo. Fafa not looking in a good position at all. I don't think there is much he can do at this point. No evolve in hand. Aya Blackpool will go down, getting some board presence, hoping that his opponent does not have enough spells to chain that hero power. With the Velen in hand, however, this is most likely end of game where he needs cheapest spells. Does he have enough?
Enough at the moment. Oh no, he has four with balance.
Oh yeah, sorry, the Ocean is what he will need.
Round 1 goes to round 1 goes to Philo.
And he takes the lead just so.
So that knocks out Philo's strong priest. What will we see next from him? Check it out.
Philo winning with his priest, being Conquest format, he cannot play it again. And he is also unable to play his rogue, which was banned. So we'll probably see his druid, I think, and shaman.
Probably he has a shaman, but we'll definitely see the druid in this matchup.
Both of these matches, as with all of our others, are best out of 5s. So each player would bring 4 decks to this tournament. One will be banned, so they have to win with all 3 of their decks. It's a last year standing. The Conquest format, you have to win with each.
I must protect the wild.
The druid matchup. Some interesting plays we might see now.
Druid Mirror, we have seen it in this tournament already. Might go into a very late game. It all depends on who can get those Jade Golems rolling first and keep that momentum going, just to build an extremely strong board. And you can easily fall behind in this matchup if you don't get the cards that you need and the RNG is not in your favor.
One difference I'm seeing between Fafa's and Philo's deck is a Medivh that is in Fafa's deck but is not in Philo's deck. What do you think the Medivh will bring to Fafa's deck that could have that is not in Philo's deck?
We've seen that value from the Medivh into Ultimate Infestation, bringing some decent minions on board. Nothing too game breaking. We had a Yogg Saron, I believe, and a Sea Giant. So
left wing at the moment.
Oh, that was at the end of last night's final game. Just at the end. So we might see some big minions going down. That is definitely a good strategy to go for. Very popular at the moment. Whereas Philo is running a Kun the Forgotten King, which I do not think that Fafa is. So not exactly the same decks. but a decent nonetheless. Fafa going for that Fandral on board.
He play from Fafa that lost him his Fandral. That is a key card in his combo and his deck.
It did cause Philo to have to use a lot of his burn to deal with. So unfortunately, not getting the value of the Jade Idol being played with both effects. But it's a risk he decided to take, because if it worked out for him, it would have been great. But he does have the Jade Golems rolling. He's at 3-3 already, looking in not a bad position at all. Next will be a 4-4.
But as you can see, there is no more Jade Idols in Fafa's deck. But, dropping down the mind control.
That's fine, that's fine. That Jade Behemoth would have been devastating if he had taken control. Philo definitely crossing fingers to get that Jade Behemoth on his side of the field. Seeing Malfurion coming out on curve, no value for the mind control tech being played, as his opponent only has 3 minions on board. The question is, which choose one effect will he go for? Maybe the Poisonous is the best at this point. And no, he decides to get the Taunt, building a wall for Philo to go through, which will protect his golems.
He especially is going for the taunt because there is a big possibility for him going for the Medivh then, trying to get that big pressure on the board, trying to get Philo to use all his cards that he has at the moment. The ultimate infestation in Philo's hand, but we'll only see it maybe in a couple of turns, or there is a possibility of a few cards coming into Philo's hand that'll get in the infestation earlier. Fandral going into Philo's deck, that might help, but not at the moment because there is no combo cards in his hand.
No ideal way for Philo to deal with this here. Ramp has started with that Mire Clipper going down, but not enough for him to make his way to that coveted 10 mana crystals, so that the ultimate infestation can be dropped onto the board. Fafa looking very strong with the board that he has developed at this point. I don't see Philo dealing with this anytime soon, but starting his own Jade Golem snowball going. Is it a little too late though?
The Dirty Rat drop, we might even see... Oh, no, going for the Medivh.
The Medivh, I think if Fafa had an ultimate infestation in hand at this point, Medivh would be a no-brainer. Still, obviously a good choice. It just makes that Wrath being played a bit of a loss in the effect of Atiesh, the Rod of Atiesh. But don't really have to bank on the fact that you play both of your ultimate infestations into Rod. Would be nice, but...
It's the best choice at the moment, especially with the hand he has at the moment, because he needs that that late game big pressure on the boards to get Philo down to low health. Already at 15, we can see Philo's health is desperately low. Dropping the mind control tech. Oh, taking the Lyra, a big play from Fafa.
The Aya definitely being the card he wanted in that tech card play. Not looking too well for Philo. That must hurt, but definitely this round so far is looking in Fafa's favor. Can he keep it going, or can Philo bring it back? That is the main question. We'll most likely see the ultimate infestation coming down next turn for Philo. What value can that bring to his side of the board and his hand?
It's definitely going to keep him alive for a little bit longer and going to get him some card draw and maybe even kill a minion. So big possibilities coming.
Nat Bagel being joining us onto the board. One of those cards you rarely see.
Pretty interesting card. Just chilling there on the board, fishing, getting that card draw for Fafa, and actually contributing a little.
More taunting than anything at this stage, as Fafa has a very good chance of taking this game. Nat Bagel just chilling back there. We're like, I'll just be here watching fold. Philo hoping for a miracle at this point. Ultimate infestation will not be enough to save him, even if he is able, or if he kills the Aya, that gives him a 4/4.
I believe really that he's not going to survive this.
Oh, there's not much you can do, even with that 5 armor from Ultimate Infestation, bringing him up to 12. His opponent, no real way to deal with this.
At the moment, Fafa has 19 damage on the board, so I do not see Philo surviving this.
going through all different ways, all different avenues, all different lanes, trying to figure out, is there a way to bring this back? And he concludes that there is not.
We followed, Fafa taking the second game, 1-1 at the moment. Pretty interesting and awesome final, if you ask me. Something we expected from these great and skilled players.
We're definitely expecting this to go into the fifth game, as they've both brought their A game. They are ready for this. They have prepared, studied each other's decks. They are as ready as anyone could be for this. We'll have to see if they can keep going and take it to that final game, or if one of the two players will take a very clear and decisive lead. First two games so far, very, very nice.
We will definitely maybe, well, we are going to see Philo's Druid again. Maybe he can win it a little bit easier when it comes to Fafa's Druid, or what it was in, I don't precisely remember. Quickly, check out what we have Fafa.
Fafa unable to play his Priest, as it was banned, and now winning with his Druid. He has a Shaman and a
Rogue. The Rogue wasn't
yes,
banned, right?
It was banned.
Oh.
No, sorry, the Rogue wasn't banned. The Priest was banned. So he has Rogue
see.
and Shaman left. Yes, correct. Trying to figure out what's going on here, guys. Don't worry, we got you.
But I think we have we ever seen Fafa's Rogue in the tournament yet?
I think Fafa's Rogue might have been banned every game that he played. So
we can see some interesting new content, huh?
I'd
Well,
see it.
gameplay.
Pretty sure he still plays the Tempo Rogue. We'll see if he does any variants to that. And if he's going to bring it out now, if he chooses to play with his Shaman instead, we'll have to see what he chooses, and we will do just that as we go into game number 3 of the lowest bracket finals here at DGC 2017 at Raid.
And we were right, we are seeing Fafa's Rogue at the moment. What do you think is something special about his Rogue?
I like seeing the Zeril. Not everyone plays Zeril in this deck. I like the combination of potions, especially if you get that return a minion, the one cost shadow step really can bring a lot of value. I think at this point it'll be a case of who gets the Kaliseth in the opening hand, and unfortunately, Philo playing his Shaman and his Rogue was banned. Fafa not so lucky to get the Kaliseth in the beginning of the game. There's still time. We'll see Zeril coming out into board. Both players starting with the early game aggression. The Elementals in a better position than the little old pirates. No crawler this time, so no crab on pirate action in this game so far. Philo wanting to having a turn 5 possible evolution left is Saranite Chain Gang and Evolve. Might hold on to that depending on what his opponent presents him with. And looking at what Fafa has in his arsenal, early game is not a problem for him at all. He can get that tempo rolling quite quickly. Shark the Collector. Down. I'd like the Shark who play more than the Tar Creeper, as you get that value out of his
back, and maybe even drawing some random cards that might help Fafa, advantage him immensely.
Choices here for either Zeril, Tar Creeper into South Sea deckhand. Most likely not a Jade Lightning if he sees a big risk in that water totem there, the mana tide totem.
Oh, Hammer of Twilight.
Hammer of Twilight, a card that hasn't seen any competitive play really. I think for a very brief time it was played, but then quickly tossed to the side.
Definitely not a precise card to play because its value is lower than what its mana cost is. Summoning a 4/2, a pretty strong thing, but it's so expensive, this weapon.
Yeah, I think that is the problem why people shy away from it. It's just much for too. Fafa taking the board. He has, as with Tempo Rogue, he has multiple answers every turn. A lot of value coming out with the Vilespine Slayer in this Tempo Rogue deck, dealing with any big threats that get thrown onto board, and it'll definitely come in handy when Fafa needs to deal with a very dangerous evolution coming on his board.
Most definitely. We will maybe see adopt a chain gang evolution next turn, but it is possible he will wait until you get something bigger like the doppelganger. Oh, dropping the Hammer of Twilight, gonna get some value and gonna get some curve. Trying to use it as best as he can, getting some damage on Fillow's face.
Pushing forward, face is the place it seems. And at the point where Philo does a Saronite Chain Gang into Evolve just to get maybe control of the board back, as Fafa has been in the driver's seat.
Oh my word. You can see a Grook Fu Master, and with the double Bloodlust, we can see some real damage coming.
If he can manage to keep that on the board for long enough, that is exactly what he wanted. He wants to buff that minion, the Shadow Ascendant, helping him out there, doing the right thing.
But
what a cool guy.
Some backstabbing and some Vile Slayer action also.
Fortunately for Philo, Fafa does have a way to deal with the Fu Master. Otherwise, that card could have wreaked havoc.
Seeing actually even more bad news for Philo with the Bone Mare coming down maybe the next turn for Fafa.
Definitely the curve has been kind to Fafa this game, having very clear answers to anything happening in this game so far. Philo, double devolve in hand, and it can allow him to whittle down his opponent's forces a bit, but giving him a bit more time to get the cards he needs to get back into this game. But at the moment, not looking too confident here.
Personally, what do you think throughout this whole tournament? Has all these players that have brought Shaman decks, have these Shaman decks done their job, or are they lacking?
Out of the Shaman plays we've seen some very unlucky devolves, which actually was more advantageous to the opponent than to the Shaman. We've seen a few very good plays with Snow Flipper Penguin High. We've seen some nice evolutions, but nothing game-breaking across the board. And a few key games, it was, however, doing its job. In that evolution into Baron Gaiden, we saw the game. I think that was Gas playing against Fafa yesterday. It won the game, one of the games. So definitely nothing to scoff at.
But do you think there's too many players with Shaman in this tournament, or what? You know, there's maybe thinking there's a lack in other potential decks that could have been in this tournament.
Players will go for what works the best, what has proven most consistent to perform well in Snow Flipper Penguin into Snow Flipper Penguin, yeah. to perform the best. And it's interesting to see that a deck with so much RNG consistently see play and success.
But at least we've seen a lot of players using their big control decks to counter the Shaman. So definitely some plays from the Shaman side and their opponents.
See the doppelgangster in the wrong player's hand at this point.
And we soon going to follow.
That'll be the draw that he needs to win this game. Fafa taking the round number 3, giving him a 2-1 lead on Philo. So Fafa at this point only has one deck left to play, and I think that is his Shaman. He did win with his Druid.
Oh yeah.
He has his Shaman left, so we might see Shaman mirror match now.
Most likely, but who do you think is going to win when it comes to the Shaman versus Shaman? If you check out, what do you think in Philo's deck is quite unique?
The choices of cards in the token Shaman are fairly standard. I think I might stand a correction here, but their decks are identical. Oh no.
the bonds
That's true.
in Fafa's deck, that is something more interesting, especially with the Sea Giant, a potential evolve that could do some pretty big damage. Just imagine dropping a Bonds, getting the Sea Giant, and dropping an evolve, seeing some big minions.
Stand under correction. Their decks are very different indeed. Between the two, I think that Fafa's choice of cards, getting the Bonds and the Sea Giant in, the Sea Giant gives him some damage or momentum later in the game, where he's not solely relying on his evolutions to win the game for him. And does he have a Thrall in deck?
Well, he has a Thrall in deck. Well, but no, Fafa does not have a Thrall in his deck.
No Thrall in deck. I like. Thrall has proven very nice for Gas, who has seen success with it, and Fuller as well. So both the players that are playing it have been making very good use of that Thrall. We'll have to see if it's a card, and it'll be a good way to see which of these two decks perform better against each other. Where the variation that Fafa is playing is more of a the token shaman we saw, but earlier on in evolution of the evolution, and Philo is playing more generally standard.
I can say personally that Philo is playing the more early game aggressive, and Fafa's playing the more late game, because as you have seen, Fafa does not have that early game potential evolve, not having the chain gang, but Philo having only one chain gang is still a big difference and can bring early game advantage to him.
Definitely very nice not seeing a straight up mirror match here. Both players going for the same kind of idea in their strategies, but different tools in arsenal, weapons in their arsenal rather.
Another Blood Cell Corsair dropping, going to destroy that weapon, dropping down patches, going to trade with the opposite patches, trying to get that board on Fafa's side. Maybe be a bad choice to go to face, but we see the trade.
A lot of value there coming out for Fafa and his Blood Cell Corsair, taking care of those Jade Claws. In this matchup, it might be more advantageous to hold on to your Blood Cell Corsair, where Fafa, as soon as Philo on turn one played his, he knew he could coin out that the Jade Claws and it wouldn't be under threat. So definitely working out there for Fafa.
With his play with the Blood Cell Corsair, destroying the Philo's weapon and getting the patches, some big plays. But we could get maybe Totem being summoned now, but potentially I think that might be the best play at the moment, not Maelstrom Portal.
Maelstrom Portal not providing him with that much value. Time to get the Flame Tongue Totem out. Fafa can manage 1 damage, which not very likely. The Flame Tongue Totem will survive this turn. We'll see blue versus red, as is a common rivalry in teams here, with the red Flame Tongue Totem and the blue Mana Tide Totem. And it seems to be a game of totems.
Definitely Fafa having a little bit of an advantage, gonna get that card draw, but we have the Maelstrom Portal in Fafa's hand. He can still clear it, but we can still see a potential, maybe using the Jade Lightning to kill that Flame Tongue Totem. Gonna try and, lessen the damage on the board.
I think at this stage, Fafa would be thinking about going for the RNG of the totem, hoping for that Wrath of Air totem, Maelstrom Portal dealing, providing a lot of value, but the Jade Lighting at the same time providing the surety that that totem will go down. Does he risk the 25% chance to get the totem he needs, or does he go for the Jade Lighting surety? Does provide him with the Jade Golem as well, 2/2 now since he's played the Jade Claws. Going for not believe in the RNG that much, as the safer play is often the best.
I think really that play was epic, because if you used a totem and got the Maelstrom Portal, Flame Tongue Totem would still be alive, buffing the Primal Totem and the healing totem that could have been really bad for Fafa.
Jade Claws would have made short work of that. You see the return Jade Lightning going out from the side of Philo, dealing also with the totem, the red versus blue now completely eradicated, and holding on to that Maelstrom portal on Fafa's side might see more value, but actually not. He's going for the Sea Giant, hoping that Philo does not have an evolution to develop his board and rather not a troll in hand, as a troll would be high value for point. If he can manage to draw it in his next turn, quite happy. Even with 2 minions going in. Alpha also sitting with the evolve in hand, but not having the board, 2 evolves in hand rather, not having the board for it yet. But as we discussed just before the game, the Sea Giant providing that value and board presence where you don't have to solely rely on your evolution like you would if you had some troll in deck.
Still some big potential from the Maelstrom portal. Going to be an interesting evolve maybe.
Evolve and a devolve as well.
Oh, getting the
No, Penguin,
and
Nosdormu taking this game to 15 seconds per turn.
Oh,
Every
the
game
doppelganger
will be.
dropping.
Well, we might just see Doppelgangster into Evolve right here. He will lose the effect of Nosdormu, hoping the attack first. Of course he does. He knows what he is doing. The pesky rope plays will then go away. Yogg Saron joins the field. Not really what he wanted at this point, but generally a very, very nice evolution there, sitting with a few big minions in his side, not getting the death roll effect from Cruel Dino Mouse as he has not discarded any cards this turn, but still that's quite the board to deal with. Bloodlust at this point for Philo, how much will it give him enough damage to deal with the board? Not enough to go for lethal at this point. Have to maybe just push it out to get that trading value in. Only 19 damage on board for him, is 5 short of lethal there, but he will be able to deal with those big minions that Fafa has been able to evolve. Not a complete board reset though.
Yeah, it's not a complete board reset, but it has the potential to set up Philo's Doppelganger board and the evolve for next turn.
Definitely does have that option, hoping that Fafa does not make any big plays at this point. The bonds pulling.
Terrible tragedy.
To make call, deciding to hold onto it, as he only has 1 evolve left. But Philo will not be doing the same, as he goes straight for that Doppelgangster into evolve, and hopefully getting the same kind of value out of the play. And indeed, that is a very nice value. Unfortunately, he gets the 1-1 big time Racketeer, but 2 out of 3, really 2 out of 4.
You can see some big, but I think Fafa's taking this game with the Bloodlust.
That will be a 3-1 win for Fafa.
Fafa moving through to next round. Well, yeah.
Moving to the finals to play against Gas. That will be a rematch, guys. It's going. Is it a grudge match? Is it a rematch? They've known each other for a long time. They know how the other plays, and I think it's definitely going to be a good game.
Most likely. And we're going to be seeing some awesome games. Well, an awesome game maybe from Grace and Cole. Are they playing today?
We'll have to see about that. For sure, we can tell you that we will be streaming the winners bracket finals, or sorry, the grand finals at 11. So that's in an hour and 15 minutes right here on the DGC 2017 Hearthstone Day 3 stream. Get hyped, guys. Join us later.
Sound muted.
Have you ever wanted to complete an accredited personal training course but could not afford the course fees? Well, now you can. For a short period of time only, TriFocus Fitness Academy is offering 30% less on their personal training course. Being a personal trainer is one of the most rewarding careers that you can take up in the fitness industry, as you'll be living out your passion for fitness every single day. Our personal training course covers all aspects of personal training and fitness. Our course modules include anatomy, physiology, biomechanics, nutrition, entrepreneurship in a fitness environment, exercise program design, and so much more. Remember that if you want to work as a personal trainer anywhere in the world, you will need to have an accredited personal training certification. Also, this period is only for a limited time. TriFocus Fitness Academy, leaders in accredited fitness education.
say, what would they do? Would it be trouble if they knew? I'm trying hard to make you see all that you are is all that I need. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on. Yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on. Yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on, leave the lights on.
Sound resumed. Sound muted. Sound resumed.
Fuck's sake.
Sounded good.
It was good, man. Okay, we're literally gonna do the same thing. Hey guys, I'm here with Alan Gaskin, aka Gas, one of our finalists for this year's Hearthstone GGC at Rage. Gas, I'm sure some people are wondering, why do they see All Too Easy under your name when you play?
Well, I like changing my nicknames quite a bit, and I'm thought of Gas because it's basically from my surname. And All Too Easy is my favorite quote from two fictional characters, one Vegeta and one Darth Vader. So basically I get both of my nicknames, and I think All Too Easy is
Right, so just clear up that confusion. If we're referring to, or you say All Too Easy, we're referring to Gas. So you're defending your DGC title as you won last year's DGC. How do you feel about your chances this year?
I came in with a minimal preparation, just a little bit of theory, and I'm pretty happy with my performance thus far. I just picked 4 classes which are pretty on tier 2 that I like playing, and then said no thanks to Priest, and I came with more aggro, and yeah, it's going well. I'm on a good streak. I won 7 in a row last year, I'm on 4 in a row at the moment, so hopefully I can go 12 in a row and lift the trophy again.
It's looking good so far. If you can keep that ball rolling, you'll definitely be in a good position here. Are there any surprises in this tournament so far for you?
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise I've seen is like 1 or 2 unknown faces or like first time faces making like top 5, etc. And some of the more familiar faces dropping out a little bit earlier with out a win or so. So yeah, just a couple of performances here and there which surprised me, which impressed me because I didn't know them before. I'm like, oh, pretty good. Yeah.
As is Hearthstone, people a lot of times say the barrier for entry isn't that difficult. You'll see people coming out of nowhere and performing really well, and people you would expect to perform very well, not making the cut. So it's very nice to see that, and it looks very good for the game. Thank you for your time, and good luck with the games ahead.
Thank you very much.
The heart was in the background. Yeah, that's fine. We'll try to get the background going back. AK.
Microphone sound muted.
Discover the all-new Kia Picanto. Get in.
rush when I lose control. You showed me how to let my hands go. You showed me how to breathe the heat. And now I feel the push of the stream that has kept me going. And now I see what I can be in your eyes. You lit a flame, we spoke my name, show me the light. Ben, Benny, Ben, you, baby, show me. Ben, Benny, Ben, you, baby, show me. Ben, Benny, Ben, you, baby, show me. Ben, Benny, Ben, you, say my name. And Ben, Benny, Ben, you, baby, show me. Ben, Benny, Ben, you, baby, show me. Ben, Benny, Ben, you, baby, show me. Ben, Benny, Ben, you, show me the reasons. Say my name and show me the reasons why you chose me. Push me gentle, I will come with you. Will you show me? Say my name and show me the reasons why you chose me. Push me gentle, I will come with you. Will you show me? Benny, Ben, you, baby, show me. Ben, Benny, Ben, you, baby, show me. Ben, Benny, Ben, you, baby, show me. Ben, Benny, Ben, you, say my name. Show me the reasons why you chose me. Push me gentle, I will come with you. Will you show me? Say my name and show me the reasons.
Westbound, far as you can make it. On denial, touchdown, looking for the darkest street on the bay. Hoping to start a revolution, a revival. A few days in that he can already say. San Francisco, I've been there before. I kicked down the door at those golden gates. Yeah, San Francisco, I've been there before. So near to the shore, but so far away. Here we go, San Francisco, here we go, San Francisco, way. Here we go, San Francisco, here we go, San Francisco. Ain't you working at a hostel through September? One room, blanket and a Bible, all that he had. Some days never saw the sun on streets so tender, and some nights they felt like fire, so kids going mad. Hey, San Francisco, I've been there before. I kicked down the door at those golden gates. Hey, San Francisco, I've been there before. So near to the shore, but so far away. Here we go, San Francisco, here we go, San Francisco, ooh, San Francisco, here we go, San Francisco, far away. is. The streets are all the same. Hey, Music City by the bay. Oh, here we go, San Francisco. I've been there before. I kick down the door at those golden gates. Yeah, San Francisco. I've been there before. So near to the shore, but so far away. Here we go, San Francisco. Here we go, San Francisco. Far away. Here we go, San Francisco. Here we go, San Francisco. Far away.
Baby, I got to go, and I know that you lost it. Whoa, baby, I got to go, and I know that you're gone. And I know that got to go, and I know that, and I know that got to go. Baby, I swear that I am helping both of us when I say that you've used up this thing that we call love down to nothing. Baby, I got to go, and I know that you lost it. Whoa, baby, I got to go, and I know that you're gone. And I know that got to go. And I know that. And I know that got to go. And I know that. And I know that got to go. And I know that.
We don't need all the touching. I just need to feel your vibe. We don't need all the budget. Baby, just chill, smoke, fly. Feel so high, feel so right. Let me take you to another place. Feel so light, feel so right, yeah. Let me take you out of space, baby. Don't you worry, baby, just lay down with me. We are nowhere, and our mind is free. I know your story, baby, don't you have for me? With you, with you, with you. Feel so high, feel so high, never high enough. I wanna touch the sky, never high enough. I'm never high enough with you. Baby, when I smoke with you, I feel so free. I love it when you give your heart to me. There's nowhere I would rather be. It's easy to see why I feel so high. I feel so high. I feel so high. You go feel so high, feel so high, never high enough. I wanna touch the sky, never high enough. I'm never high enough. Feel so high, never high enough. I wanna touch the sky, never high enough. I'm never high to the end of the earth, or even further, I'll follow. To the moon or back, through every generation, I'll follow. Through the storm and the rain, though it wears on my body, I'll follow. 'Cause I know as I go, I will grow, so I'll follow. If you lead me, I will follow.
Sound resumed.
Hey guys, I'm here with Franco Maton, aka Fafa from Restart Esports, one of the finalists in this year's DGC 2017 for Hearthstone at Rage. Fafa, how did you prepare for this event?
Well, when I went to the top 8, I'll just comment on it. What I said is, I got lucky. I got signed by a French organization, Restart Esports, and they prepared my decks for me. So then I got bored of Hearthstone. I played Wild. So I did a lot of effort seeing how the Wild is, reach Legend in Wild, and that was super easy. Just YOLO, Pirate Warrior.
Yeah.
So my preparation is checking out Wild and then playing the decks, and then everyone is tryharding. It's just fell out of the tournament.
Well, it's you don't have to overthink it to be good at this. So, are there any surprises in this tournament?
The tournament was fun. I rather there wasn't really many surprises. My most fun game was Gregory Grays. He played exceptionally well, and I almost faltered there and dropped down to the loser bracket. So my road so far is I won every single game, up to the point in the winners bracket where I lost to Gas, dropped down at Philo for the loser bracket final. That went 3-1, even though I misplayed super badly. In every game, there is a specific misplay that I'm after the match. We lost well. Could have played better. In Jude, I could have drawn Shaman. I could have cleared the board before I evolve. And in Rogue, I don't know. That's something stupid. So,
well, you can always learn from your mistakes and try to do it better next time. So this is a rematch for you, as you mentioned, Gas did lowest bracket. How do you feel about your chances in this rematch?
Well, pretty sure Gas is a much better lineup against mine. So for me, it was all about reaching the final with one of my best mates. So I told Alan at the start of the year that we will come to the finals and we will face each other in the finals. And now we are here. And now we're just gonna have YOLO in the finals. I mean, do coin flips and shit. I mean,
well, we're all here to have fun. So
it's the game is just gonna be fun. I mean, I'm not checking Alan's decks and stuff. I mean, we just here to have fun now.
Well, thank you for your time and good luck.
Thank you.
Sound resumed.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hearthstone DGC 2017 Grand Finals. We have Gas playing against Fafa, a best out of 5 conquest format. What do you think? It's going to be a good game?
A great game. We've played Hearthstone already this tournament. We're going to be going into the final now, but before then, as the players are getting ready, we're going to have some. We're going to see our previous players. We're going to show some interviews from the 2 finalists and let you meet them, had a chat to them, and what the finals means.
Let's get to know our finalists. Hey guys, I'm here with Alan Gaskin, aka Gas, one of our finalists for this year's Hearthstone GGC at Rage. Gas, I'm sure some people are wondering, why do they see All Too Easy under your name when you play?
Well, I like changing my nicknames quite a bit, and I'm bored of Gas because it's basically from my surname. And All Too Easy is my favorite quote from 2 fictional characters, one Vegeta and one Darth Vader. So basically I get bored of my nicknames, and I think All Too Easy is
Right, so just clear up that confusion. If we're referring to, when you say All Too Easy, we're referring to Gas. So you're defending your DGC title as you won last year's DGC. How do you feel about your chances this year?
I came in with a minimal preparation, just a little bit of theory, and I'm pretty happy with my performance thus far. I just picked 4 classes which are pretty on tier 2 that I like playing, and then said no thanks to Priest, and I came with more aggro, and yeah, it's going well. I'm on a good streak. I won 7 in a row last year. I'm on 4 in a row at the moment, so hopefully I can go 12 in a row and lift the trophy again.
It's looking good so far. If you can keep that ball rolling, you'll definitely be in a good position here. Are there any surprises in this tournament so far for you?
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise I've seen is like 1 or 2 unknown faces or like first-time faces making like top 5, etc. And some of the more familiar faces dropping out a little bit earlier with out a win or so. So yeah, just a couple of performances here and there which surprised me, which impressed me because I didn't know them before. I'm like, oh, no, pretty good. Yeah.
As is Hearthstone, people a lot of times say the barrier for entry isn't that difficult. You'll see people coming out of nowhere and performing really well, and people you would expect to perform very well not making the cut. So it's very nice to see that, and it looks very good for the game. Thank you for your time, and good luck with the games ahead.
Thank you very much.
Hey guys, I'm here with Franco Maton, aka Fafa from Restart Esports, one of the finalists in this year's DGC 2017 for Hearthstone at Rage. Fafa, how did you prepare for this event?
Well, when I went to the top 8, I'll just comment on it. What I said is, I got lucky. I got signed by a French organization, Restart Esports, and they prepared my decks for me. So then I got bored of Hearthstone. I played Wild, so I did a lot of effort seeing how the Wild is, reached Legend in Wild, and that was super easy. Just YOLO, Pirate Warrior. Yeah. So my preparation is checking out Wild, and then playing the decks, and then everyone is tryharding. It's just fell out of the tournament.
Well, it's you don't have to overthink it to be good at this. So, are there any surprises in this tournament?
The tournament was fun. There wasn't really many surprises. My most fun game was Gregory Grays. He played exceptionally well, and I almost faltered there and dropped down to the loser bracket. So my road so far is I won every single game, up to the point in the winners bracket where I lost to Gas, dropped down at the Philo for the loser bracket final. That went 3-1, even though I misplayed super badly. In every game there is a specific misplay that I'm after the match. Last well, could have played better in Druid. I could have drawn Shaman, I could have cleared the board before I evolve. And in Rogue, I don't know, that's something stupid. So,
well, you can always learn from your mistakes and try to do it better next time. So this is a rematch for you, as you mentioned, Gas did lowest bracket. How do you feel about your chances in this rematch?
Well, pretty sure Gas is a much better lineup against mine. So For me, it was all about reaching the final with one of my best mates. So I told Alan at the start of the year that we will come to the finals and we will face each other in the finals. And now we are here. And now we're just gonna have YOLO in the finals. I mean, 2 coin flips and shit. I mean,
well, we're all here to have fun. So
it's the game is just gonna be fun. I mean, I'm not checking Alan's decks and stuff. I mean, we just here to have fun now.
Well, thank you for your time and good luck.
Thank you.
Sound resumed.
Hey guys, and we are ready to start, and they have already started going into round 3. We have Fafa versus All Too Easy, or as we know him from the actual ladder placement, Gas.
Here, Leo, we've got Gas's Murloc / mid-range Paladin and Fafa's Highlander Priest. Favored in this matchup.
Ooh, it's difficult to say. I personally think the Paladin is a bit favored in this matchup. But we'll have to see how that rolls out. Fafa does have some board clear there, which will help him a lot, you know, late. So not the best of Murlocs or starting hand, I guess. So it might be fairly easy.
At this moment, yeah, I agree, but if Gas can get the aggro off and take this early game, does have the Rock Pool Hunter, does grew into a Vilefin Inquisitor, needs Texas Murloc Nightcaller. It is at that sweet spot of having 4 attack, but how long will it survive is the question.
Bird Lash would be nice for Fafa right now. No such luck. If he can, we will be able. If he discovers it, is it a 1 cost? Fight can deal with that that Murloc, and that might be what we down. The Radiant Elemental, obviously, bringing that into a 0 cost spell. But we'll have to see which he deems the best.
Could also take the Power Word Shield, plusing the Radiant Element, giving it a bit more survivability. Then drawing a card, being able to dig for his combo a bit quicker, hopefully. Rather going to go with the Holy Smite and deal with the biggest threat on board currently.
That Murloc can get quite big if Gaz had more Murlocs in hand as well, and what you don't want to see is a turn 4 Gentle Megasaur play.
No, that's what you Gas wants to see that.
Obviously, Gas wants to see that, but that's Fafa needs to play around that. But no Megasaur in hand, so we won't see that happening either. Ooh, Dirty Rat pulling out the Bone Mare, big body, but that you would want that 4+4 battle cry extremely strong.
Well, you know, rather having a free 5/5 body on board, still not a bad trade-off. Does lose out on the battle cry, but does now have more of a board control. However, Fafa with that Dragonfire potion in hand, he's not too worried either about the Bone Mare.
He could coin that out next turn, but we'll see if he actually does end up going for that. The Gentle Megasaur just a little too late perhaps, but still very welcome there. +3 attack. What else do you think he would be looking for there? Maybe Poisonous is a...
I don't think Poisonous at this stage. Nothing too threatening on the board. He could have gone for the Wind Fury, but with damage, with lethal damage on board, Fafa will coin out that Dragonfire potion.
Needing to deal with that threat very quickly.
Corpse Taker coming in with the full complement of Divine Shield, Taunt, Wind Fury, and Lifesteal.
The full package indeed. Max value that you can get out of that Corpse Taker will drop it instantly. And let's see how much value we can actually have. No clear way for Fafa to deal with the minion in at least this turn. Maybe if we can draw something that assists him with that. Unfortunately, no such luck, but he will be able to just get build some kind of board to deal with any threat. Another Corpse Taker. Very, very nice.
Fafa really needs that Shadow Word Pain. Unfortunately, Divine Shield, though it blocks the first amount of damage, doesn't block any cards that say destroy.
That is to try and figure out the Valkyrie Steed or the Corpse Taker. Corpse Taker seeming to be a possible better play. Could play the Crazed Alchemist into that.
The Novice Engineer, and then trade into it with the tiny, the Sherlock, Silverhand, Knight, Squire.
Into the Bird.
Talent, Cabal Talent.
Cabal Talent. What is that race called? The something with an AK. I'm not sure.
Cora?
We're butchering the name, I think.
That's what they are in Dungeons and Dragons, though.
Arakokra.
That, yes. Butchered. Name
Butchered. Damn, we're ruining things here. But at least the players are not ruining the game. They are showing us what top tier Hearthstone is like, guys. This is cream of the crop.
Go the wild pyromancer and then the pint-sized potion. He doesn't have the Shadowwood Horror. I think he wants to back and combo with Shadowwood Horror for when he needs that board clear. However,
still value going down there. You don't want. I mean, the pint-sized potion will cause no lifesteal. Not that he needs it, but getting rid of that divine shield and that pesky little murloc on the board
does also take him out of any range, because Gas could have had a Blessing of Kings with Spike-Ridge Steed in hand. He's gonna Crazed Alchemist. Is this lethal?
It's not lethal, unfortunately, but pushing him ever so close.
Lethal.
Oh, Wind Fury, of course
Yes.
it's lethal. Yeah, the swirly swirls of the Wind Fury eluded me. So many effects going on.
Spike-Ridge Steed with the Crazed Alchemist following up, turning it into a 9-5 with Wind Fury.
Very nice play there in bringing a first win in favor of Gas.
What does Gas have left? Gas, because this is the Conquest format, Gas can't take in his Murloc deck. Gas does have a Warlock deck still, a Shaman, and his Rogue was banned, so it's between those two.
Both players' Rogues were banned, so we won't see any of that Prince Kaliseth play coming out in Rogue at least, but we might see it in Warlock. Would be nice.
So Fafa's taking his Priest back in, Gas going with Shaman. Yeah, do you think there's anything different about this Shaman list, or do you think it's staple? One addition of the Bone Mare is a nice touch, giving it is a 7-drop, which is nice for when you get the Evolves out. But other than that, this is the staple token Shaman that we see.
Like we said, we spoke about earlier, there's not much variation in the decks here, although Fafa does play some different cards. We might see a mirror match later going on with variations to see again which one fares better. In the previous game where we discussed Fafa and wow, good.
Wasn't Philo?
Yeah, Philo. Sorry,
yeah.
Philo and Fafa's game where Fafa's Shaman proved to be the victor there. I think that All Too Easy Gas's Shaman is more similar to the one that Philo played. So we'll see if that ends up working the same as it did there. Ancestral Spirit, definitely not in Earth.
Job's done.
I thought that was something else.
Take the Malachite Totem. That'll give Fafa some nice draw when he needs to look for his combo piece. Does have a Power Word Pain in hand, Shadow Word Pain in hand, so he can deal with any of the early threats. Has silenced one of the Primal Fin Totems, but Gas is still going to get one Murloc per turn at the moment.
Very nice turf play there for Gas in the next few turns. Chain Gang into Thrall. If Fafa doesn't have anything to deal with that can end up being quite a formidable board on the side of Gas. Fafa having the Shadowwood Horror.
Fortunately, no pint-sized potion, but with all of his minions below 2 health right now, he doesn't quite need it yet.
We'll most likely see that going down as it is
with a full board that's going to be pure value.
Almost saw Blood Mage Snell but
pure value.
It's the board, unfortunately for Gas. That next turn would have seen quite the evolution happening there. No such luck for him this turn. But you can get 3 minions on board, nonetheless 4 if he decides to throw the Jade Lightning. I mean, sorry, the Maelstrom Portal just would get a body, but I don't know if he's going to go there.
Great hero power. I think at this level of play, I don't think there's sort of tilt left in these players, because I know playing on ladder, I'd set up the full board ready for the evolution. My opponent board clears it, get so angry and so upset, but I think these players know it's just the game. They're expecting it. They know it's probably going to come, and maybe they're even trying to draw it out with these small minions, with the Primal Fin Totems or Murlocs. Maybe they want to draw that out.
Definitely playing against the priest, guys would expect a lot of board clear there, but you need to take the risks, because if Buffer did not have a way to deal with the board there, that could have been possibly the game. But luckily for Fafa, he did have an answer for that big threat looming.
It was close. He did, if it had only the one board clear in hand, so I think it was definitely worth the risk. And Gas being able to fill up the board very quickly now. He's back up to 3 minions, Fafa having none on his side.
Fafa at this point wanting to get maybe that some of his combo pieces out, get the ball rolling. A Raza would be very well right now. That Priest of the Feast could provide some value, not really at this point. I mean, healing him up to max, yes, and most likely being able to survive the next turn. Would this be a point Gas really needs an evolve? If he could manage to get his hand evolve in this next draw.
Evolve right now would be great for Gas. Otherwise, that Priest of the Feast is going to do good work for Fafa to defend the board and contest any minions Gas can throw down. Unfortunately, he's only got that double gangster, so the evolve right now would have been great, would have been able to take real control of the board. However, he doesn't have it. He can only totem and possibly play Thrall and level up his minions to increase their cost by 2. Then we'll just have to see, is RNG on his side.
Perhaps, okay, well, doing this he gets the extra evolve.
Depending on what.
Not the best evolution, but he gets the Thrall out on board so that his Hero Power can evolve minions such as get them onto the board at least.
Fortunately, both of those minions having 3 toughness, they're both susceptible to Priest of the Feast. I think Gas was definitely looking to get at least a 3-4, even a 2-4, just something that would be able to stay alive to get evolved the turn afterwards again.
Not looking for the big minions in this low mana pool. You want minions that will survive turns so that you can make them even bigger. The Kazakus Potion, Kazakus going down into a Kazakus Potion, deal 4 damage to all minions is definitely what he was looking for, trying to clear any board that Gas can generate. That Doppelgangster going down, even if he gets an evolve, that 4 damage is very likely to with any.
Could do a very good job of wiping the board, depending on what the RNG gives him. Could drop the Blood Cell Corsair now. We haven't seen patches yet this game, so Blood Cell Corsair will put another 2 bodies on the board, attack with the mind control tech, and then evolve it to see what we can get out of it.
He's going to go for the evolve first, what he can get. Don't think the Dragon Link mechanic will be able to stay alive for another evolve next.
Buffer will have to trade both of his minions into Dragon Link, which I think he'd be fine with. It does provide a bit more sort of time for Gas to try and get the evolve.
The choice is mine.
Looking at the fact that Gas only evolved and kept all 4 cards in hand, Fafa knows that Gas does not have many options at this point. Fishing for evolves, which he hasn't gotten. So
Gas probably Fafa probably knows that Gas, or is making a very educated guess. More likely that there's a Bloodlust in hand, or if there's 2 evolves, he's waiting for the Doppelgangster. So he knows that he needs to all the control of the board right now. Lock down Gas and Thrall's Hero Power, because it sits like it's a dead ability if there's no sort of minions on the battlefield. Same with the Priest ability, who always weren't too fond of Priest, because if you're sitting at full health, your Hero Power is a dead ability.
Very true. Fafa sitting near full in the driver's seat at this point, not having a very big board, big minion board, only Velen in hand, and he also has Shadow Companion, so he can deal. I think Fafa's in a very comfortable position at this point. He knows that Gas is fishing for answers here. unfortunately not getting them. And even if he was able to, I think Fafa is very confident he could with anything. So,
Fortunately, Gas, the turn before this, like we said, just ending the turn, not being able to use ability on anything, does have the Manatide Totem now, can, even if it will die next turn, can get the one draw at the end of this turn. Hopefully he gets his Evolve. Hopefully we'll be able to wrestle control back of this board.
Going for bringing patches out, finally.
It's a light well.
The light well will be nice to get himself up at least by 3 if he trades in the patches. That's what we will see. So keeping him, alive a little bit longer.
Bloodmage Stalmos drawing a Lyra for Fafa.
Finally, we see the evolve that he was looking for. Must be very excited to see that. Been drawing for it and fishing for it all this time. Fafa still trying to just pull out, carry out this game, keeping his opponent down as best possible. Nice draw coming out there. Heal, a lot of combinations in that Spirit Lash. Also, of course,
draw the Loot Hoarder and the Acolyte of Pain. Lyra giving him another card in hand, gives him the Mass Dispel and draws more cards off of the Hoarder.
Let's see what Gas can get with his evolutions finally, now that he has them. Fafa having answers to big minions and small minions at this stage.
Nice AA blast connection.
Evolution going down, I see a Black Knight, I see Harold's
Velage. The Cabal Trafficker probably being the best minion here. Might choose to evolve the Scavenging Hyena further with the Transmute Spirit. No, he's going to choose the Black Knight, getting it up to a 7-drop Malkarok.
Shadow Reaper Anduin going down will make very quick work with this. We see Prince Malkazar as well, not a very nice card. Shadow Reaper Anduin going down. It seems as the right choice here for Fafa, dealing with 3 of his opponent's minions, only leaving that Scavenging Hyena on board. Will not see that minion grow, as those 3 minions aren't on beasts, and all too easy realizes that he's
not coming back.
He's ran out of gas.
Was that funny?
It's totally intended, man.
Now we've got
a 1-1 Fafa taking that game. Guys, I hope this goes into the 5th game. Both players bringing the A game. If Gas manages to win, as he has won all his way through the winner's bracket, if he wins this best out of 5, he will be the winner of the DGC 2017. But if Fafa is able to win this best out of 5, they need to play another best out of 5. Because
Fafa's coming from the losing
bracket.
So we see Gas taking his Warlock back in. Fafa going with Druid. Fafa does have another Shaman deck available.
Why do you think he decided not to keep patches in hand there? One could only
speculate.
Yeah, only speculate.
That's going to be a late game hand for Gas.
Generally being a it's a zoo, it's a stock, so he's hoping for the early game and drawing 3 of his highest cost minions in his deck. I think the highest cost minions in his deck. Definitely not what he wants to see at this point. We'll see the Bloodsail Corsair coming out and putting out the patches as well, but not the choice he wants to make there.
It probably wants to wait until he's got a Darkshire Councilman, or maybe even, hopefully for him, get Prince Kaliset so that patches will become a 2-2 while he's still sick.
We'll see the Bloodsail Corsair coming out now that he has the Archer's Veteran. But we won't see it being played. Going for that draw, trying to get more of a little bit of a bigger hand, pulling his pirates out. He wants to compensate for the fact that he has those big cost minions. I would. Puff on the other hand, Mind Control Tech waiting in hand for all too easy to start playing out and getting those little minions on board.
Gas is sitting with the South Sea captain will buff his pirates. Unfortunately, Patches has already gone down. He does also have the Serenite chain gang, which is survivability.
Speak your piece.
Got 3 minions at the moment, being able to trade him down to 2. Mind control tech still not being able to get much value. Fafa taking advantage of the late game in Gas's hand and is already up to 7 mana crystals thanks to his ramping.
Very nice ramp there for him, and he's in a very good position at this point. Seeing that Gas wasn't able to play out his zoo and his early aggression at the start of the game, looking at a good position, being able to get that ramp up, already sitting at 7 mana crystals ahead. It's looking very good for him. Maybe playing the Medivh on curve next turn.
Go with the Doom Guard. Probably the better option right now while your hand is full. However, you wouldn't want to discard the Blood Reaver Gul'dan. Oh, Bone Mare was the second worst, but still better than discarding Blood Reaver Gul'dan.
Definitely. So you don't want to lose that. Taking that risk and it's working out for him very well there indeed. The Medivh will be going down and another Doom Guard. Is he going to risk playing the other Doom Guard as well?
I don't think it's worth it right now. He does have more control of the board. Could trade into Medivh. Play possibly a Serenite Chain Gang. Could play a Despicable Dreadlord. What do you think of Blood Reaver Gul'dan? He's the only Death Knight that came with Knights of the Frozen Throne that costs 10 mana. The most expensive Death Knight.
I'm not sure if that if the 10 mana constitutes effect. It's not one of the most popular things. So I think some would agree that it's perhaps a bit too expensive what you get. Might not have seen. We're not early in the meta. I mean, it's kind of been figured out.
We're still only about a month in, or just over a month.
We might see some kind of play that just brings that to the top of the possible Death Knights to play in your deck and build a Warlock archetype, maybe more of a
Demon Lock,
which we've seen being played, but it's not that favorited.
Starting the Serenite Chain Gang, that's probably guards the Blood Reaver and the Despicable Dreadlord. He does have damage going face. Will Fuff have a way to deal with them? He can swipe into one and trade a Tish into the other.
If he uses his Euro power and get more, Tish will become 4.
We'll still lose that damage. 1 durability.
Indeed, but the swipe will summon a forecast minion for him.
I think with Blood Reaver Gul'dan, I think as the game goes on, he becomes more and more worth his 10 mana cost, because depending on the number of demons that you'll summon back. So for example, if he still had Blood Reaver Gul'dan and these 2 Doom Guards die, when you play him, you'll resummon 2 Doom Guards, which makes his cost definitely a bit more worth it. Also, his hero power being able to gain 3 life, deal 3 damage, gain 3 life, because got lifesteal. All the cards that you've been drawing with your hero power, all the life you've lost, you can make it back. But unfortunately, because the cost becomes more worthwhile later on, you don't want to play him on curve like Malfurion, just like Fuffa did with Malfurion.
Still has that 10 damage on board. No luck with the Bone Mare being drawn there. He will start filling the board. Those 2 Doom Guards getting quite the value out of this board for Gas, and Fafa is looking maybe in a little bit of a precarious position.
Well, with the Ultimate Infestation, he would be able to get a 10 drop. Hopefully it'll save him from this. That was a great top deck off of Gas. Getting the Serenite Chain Gangs, able to protect his Doom Guards and keep space, threatening lethal.
Taking it to the 1 Serenite Chain Gang will increase his chances of mind control taking one of those Doom Guards. So he's got a 50% of getting one, so he would definitely be wanting, and he gets the stronger of the 2. Definitely what he will want. Gas's momentum slowing down a little bit. Mark of the Lotus also buffing up those minions. Don't think he has lethal as of yet.
But 9 damage because that Doom God does come in with its own charge. He can nourish here, get another 5-drop from Atish. First 5-drop being here the Flying Star, the last practicer of Finjitsu.
Is that so? Is Finjitsu a very commonly said?
I don't know. I don't know what the last is.
Very scary board on the side of Papa at this point. Don't know if Gas has anything left that he can do about that. I don't think losing both his Doom Guards, he doesn't have Blood well, they have Gul'dan anymore. One of his Bone Mares lost as well. There's just not anything that can bring him back in this game. No minions, no impact, no comeback.
Gas knew that and conceded, just like he did with the Shaman deck. Unfortunately, seeing his deck list being more of the Zulok, once you've lost control of the board, very hard to come back, especially against big minions, where a Zulok's only real removal is trading in. Doesn't have runs the Soulfires and the one other removal, but doesn't run any board clears like Twisting Nethers or Doom, Siphon, not even a Siphon Soul to get rid of a huge threat. So I think Fafa just being able to draw out the game there, knew that didn't even have to worry about going lethal, had to keep it on lethal.
Also, the early game not looking too good for Gas. He didn't get that momentum rolling, that aggro that you want to see in a Zulok. So unfortunately, just falling short there. We will be going into game number 4 of the first best out of 5 here in the finals of the Hearthstone DGC 17 at Rage. Like that. Sounds like we're introducing someone in Westeros. We will see Gas playing his Warlock again.
Fortunately, got a better starting hand now. Got the 1-drops that can hopefully take control of the board. Fafa also having the Firefly, Tank Totem, and the Mana Tide, which will help him fill his hand and also contest the board.
Getting that Bone Mare in hand ensures that he'll be able to keep that momentum going with the board if he can keep it. Generally, in this matchup, there's not much board clear. It's just a case of filling your board with minions. Whoever can do it fastest, make their minions big, and control your opponent's board, and then go fast.
Buffer playing Shaman, he is able to evolve. Not really a board clear, but can just worsen Gas's minions and hopefully make them easier to clear.
Well, seeing some of the devolves that we've seen in this tournament so far, it's definitely not a guaranteed board control. It can work very easily in against you.
What was that one that we saw? We saw the Swamp King Dread and Saber-tooth Tiger.
Tiger, yeah, that was not nice at all. Much more of a threat than that was already on the board at that stage.
You also don't want to evolve and get a Doomsayer that you can't deal with.
Very true. Gas taking control of the board here, getting patches out there. 2 patches, it's always nice to see. Unfortunately, no Prince Kaliseth as of yet in either of these 2 games. It's what Fafa can get with these bonds. Obviously, as we spoke about Fafa's variation to his token Shaman, not the same as what Gas and some of the others decided to bring to the table here.
I really enjoy Fafa's addition of the Sea Giant. Makes it very, very easy to combat the aggro, because if both decks sort of just flood the board both games, especially with Zulok and Shaman in this meta, Giant can come in as early as turn 4, plus it's still a 10-drop, so that when it gets evolved, really huge.
That's definitely true. I like that pick of his. It definitely gives him that advantage to have something going in without having to rely on the event. And with a very aggro-heavy meta, well, so a lot of the aggro decks we've been filling boards is what you want to see against.
Exactly.
Fortunately, no Sea Giant in hand at this point. Really hoping to get it. I would assume this where he devolves. Yes, it might just be. Want to get rid of that Doom God and making that Doom God a 4/4.
Fortunately, Doom God being quite susceptible to devolve because it's a really strong 5-drop. However, as a 4-drop, it may not be worthwhile.
Going for maybe he has an evolution in hand or evolve in hand. A doppelgangster evolve, providing him with his own board. Trying to figure out what is the biggest threat here. Do you need to deal with what your opponent has, or do you have to going for the RNG of the evolution there, and not liking what he sees, and giving a that 3.
No, that's
Sorry, yeah, that's 2-2. Bring it to a 2-2. 2 for Gas, 2 for.
We'll go to game 5.
We'll go to game 5 indeed. Unfortunately, Fafa taking a chance there with his doppelgangster evolution and not liking what he sees. And
either way, with Gas threatening Leaf on board, he had the devolve in hand. Again, leaving it up to RNG or taking doppelgangster evolve. Either way, just had to chance it and try his luck, and it did work out for him.
No, it did not. We'll see Gas going to his Shaman now, and it will be a not completely mirror match in the sense of what they're trying to achieve with their evolution, the archetype, but variations in it which I like to see. It's never nice to just see an exact mirror match, as then it just goes about what goes about. Well, a Shaman mirror match is better than other mirror matches, I think, because in other mirror matches you would just go for who gets the best draws and best early game and whatever you're trying to achieve, who gets that combo or something first. Yeah, you can't really predict what your evolutions will, but it's always nice to see a token Shaman mirror match.
Yeah, because it leaves most of it up to the RNG. I myself, I particularly enjoy actually mirror matches. I don't find them sort of know what your opponent has, and you both have the same advantage and disadvantages going into the game, and you kind of trade blow for blow, and then it can make them quite close games depending on what the draws are.
Can, but it can also be very one-sided. It's very nice to see if it goes to that oh no, you got that card that I needed just before I did, and that gave you the advantage.
One person drew the evolve before the other. That can make the whole difference.
Exactly. Fafa taking a lead here with board control at a Maelstrom portal here, dealing with one of the 2 minions on Fafa's board. Would be ideal to go here for a turn 4 Maelstrom portal, being able to maybe fish for that
Wrath of Air Totem.
The Wrath of Air Totem, but on 3 he'll still he'll take control of the board now himself. It'll be a to and fro, I think, here for the start of the game. Both players getting their little minions out there, trying to fill the board so that when evolution turn comes, they can make things happen.
Maximize on there. I think here he could go Primal Fin Totem and his own.
Maybe looking for that.
If he had gotten the Wrath of Air Totem, he could have gotten the Maelstrom portal away, would have cleared the board back, would hopefully have gotten a good 1-drop, such as the Enchanted Raven.
Definitely looking for that. But no such luck this time, seeing that Healing Totem comes down. He patches out the first patches. Patches will join the battle. He is in charge now, and looking at the board, Fafa is definitely in charge.
Fafa's going to go for the evolution here, or next turn he could be setting up for a Bloodlust Lethal on turn 5.
Well, maybe because the first thing that All Too Easy did in his previous turn is it might be obvious that he was looking for. So an evolution, yeah, might if you would. Might have been a good idea, and he will get the Wrath of Air Totem and clearing the board just. An evolve there might have been value. Dust Devil being very nice indeed for All Too Easy, as it does have Wind Fury with that 3 attack, a guaranteed 6 damage coming out that Fafa cannot deal with this turn unless he gets a taunt.
Great evolve though.
Oh, that is a very nice.
Pull the sign out of the deck. Snow Fury Giant. I think Snow Fury Giant is the only 7-drop in Standard.
I am not sure.
Because there's the Arcane Giant, which is the 12 drop. So the No Fury Giant can still be further evolved into that, but once it gets to 12, you can't evolve the Arcane Giant anymore. The only cost above that would be the 25 mana Molten Giant.
Very nice value there for Gas, being able to get that 3 damage to face and finishing off that 8-8. Still having a 3-6 on board. Fafa looking not too bad, drawing a patches. Gas must not be too happy with that at this point.
He does have the Bone Mare, so he could play it on one of his minions and get a 5-5 or get a 5-5 with Taunt. Could also play the Manatide Totem. It is acceptable to going down. Will give him the necessary draw though. With Doppelgangster in hand, you really need to dig and get those evolutions.
This is still anyone's game as the evolution can determine the tide of this game. At the moment, Gas looking to have a better board and the Doppelgangster in hand, ready for that evolve coming out. And same for Fafa, sitting with that Doppelgangster, just looking for that evolution.
I think it comes down to firstly who draws the evolve first, secondly what the evolve gives them. Because you could get the evolve first, but you could end up with a very bad evolution, very worth it. Fafa does have the Bloodlust though. Even if it is a bad evolution, maybe the Bloodlust will come through in the turn afterwards and give him the lethal damage he needs.
Reaching now turn 7 into turn 8. Unlucky to not get the roll there, which would have been very nice. Being able to evolve what he has on board twice and still getting a Euro power value out of.
Blade is here now. I think you need to Jade Lightning the Flame Tongue Totem. Fafa does have 12 damage on board. The Bloodlust would make it 24 in total.
Still out of lethal range. Guys looking for that Wrath of Air Totem to take care of that thing from. He'll have to trade the Bone Mare. Oh, he's got patches, of course. Yes, he can trade patches and the Jade Lightning into that.
Much better play. Keeps the Bone Mare alive. Keep better board presence for Gas. Now both of them really just looking for an evolve. Really just looking for a thrall. Both of them having the Doppelgangster in hand, easily able to develop the board.
Reaching that point that we were speaking about earlier in a mirror match, who draws the key cards that they need to win this game first, as they are keep building boards, dealing with each other's minions, not really going for any damage to the face, waiting for the key cards that they need, and an evolution, a thrall coming out now for Gas. We may see
a wait a turn, because on turn 10 he can play Doppelgangster and get to 7 drops. Right now they are just trading blow for blow. Gas last turn, Jade Lightning, last turn for Fafa, also a Jade Lightning. As you said, dealing with each other's boards, not focusing too much damage.
And Gas will be happy with that Stoneclaw Totem there. And unfortunately for Fafa, no evolution at this point, where it was looking in a little bit of a better position here. Fafa now I think it has swung Gas's favor a little bit.
Fafa definitely used Desperate Bloodlust, knowing that he has to deal with that board. Can't let it develop too much. With cards sitting in his hand from the early game. We've had the Doppelgangster sitting in Fafa's hand since turn 6, and the Doppelgangster sitting in Gas's hand since very early in the game.
A very nice evolution coming out now for Gas. The question is, will his evolution be stronger than that of Fafa, which can also play the Doppelgangster into evolve next turn? Two Prophet Valence and a Wicked Flame Burn Bristle, and that is an incredible evolution. Can you believe that?
5 legendaries on Anomalous. Again, gonna butcher this name.
Anomalous being a possible scapegoat if Fafa was able to deal with that, which would clear the board when killed. Unfortunately, Fafa does not have the damage to do that, so will not be able to gain control here. Is there anything he can still do to bring this back?
he does have the doppelgangster and evolve in hand. He could just lead up to his own RNG. Hopefully it gets him what he needs. Play the Primal Flint Totem and then evolve.
It all hinges on this evolution. Will Fafa get what he needs to bring this game back, or is this in the hands of Taunts?
And Gas does have 31 damage on turn on.
And that Bloodlust will definitely ensure that this is the end for Fafa, giving a victory to Gas.
Gets the fireball as well off Archmage Antonitis just in case he did need it. Prophet Valen would have made this. How much damage? One fireball,
24 damage on 1 HP, finishing it off with a 24 damage fireball. That is like the finish there, and that'll bring the victory to Gas.
3-2. What a final. Went down to game 5. No better final we could have asked for here at DG Rage 2017. The final day, the finals of the Hearthstone tournament. Sure, that last that Thrall Death Sea, I think with the two Prophet Valens and Archmage Antonitis, even if Fafa have gotten a full board of taunts, one fireball dealing 24 damage each, I don't think there was a way he could have gotten back from that.
There was very little that Fafa could do there. I don't, but I think that was a long shot, and Gas will now be.
Is that the second time?
It's the second time in a row that he wins the DGC. Did one
Keeping
win
his
last year,
title.
keeping his title. And we'll have to see if he can do that next year again, or if there are new contenders. There's always new people joining Hearthstone because it's such a great game. And we hope to see you guys here soon, and in the ladder games, league games coming up next year.
Hopefully some of our viewers will be able to even join us here in person next year. The different ways to get into the GGC final. There's the ladder that happens the whole year round. Some of the top premier players of the sort of the open division gets invited here. Then there's also the community cups, which are open to everyone. So
I think so, yes.
So you can enter a community cup, hopefully get lucky, just need to win one of them and you'll secure an invite here. Hopefully we'll see you in person here next year at Rage.
Exactly, luck is a skill. Thanks for joining us. I am Lions. We have Pony Slay Station on the production.
It's been a pleasure casting these games for you, and we'll see you next year.
Definitely so. Thank you very much, guys.
Oh, that last evolution, my word.
Side by side, and the restless in your eyes to reach before the morning rise. Out on the street corner again, I turn around and see my friend. Some get forward, some get low, but no one knows which way to go. Rocking till the break of day, don't stop rocking now. Feels the same. This is everybody feels the same. This is why we play these games. Rocking till the early dawn. Soon these Nobody feels the same. This is why we play these games. Rocket to the early dawn. Soon these good times will